Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Fire the Dragon, episode 2. No, wait, episode 2, my bad, sorry. Episode 5, Spyro the Dragon 2. That's kind of the numbers I'm gonna get mixed up there. Don't tell anybody! Anyway, welcome back to this game. I think we, took off last time in, like, Aquaria Towers, or something like that. We're missing a few more areas. Sorry if I keep saying, a lot. Trouble thinking. That's just about it. Yeah, there's nothing else I can say about that. Yeah. My thing is, before I came in here, I hit my head on the door, and it started hurting. It stopped hurting now, so I'm fine now. I hit my head on the doorknob there, and kind of things, dude. About this level, I don't remember what it's called, but Tom Kenny actually voices more notably. I know he voices Spyro, okay? I know that already, but you might be able to hear it in this guy's voice. I have no idea. So I'll just listen to most of them. One of these guys is actually Tom Kenny's voice, so the voice of SpongeBob. But he didn't know that. This one was kind of not hard. It's kind of easy. Once you know what is going on here. So I don't know. I don't know. Nothing happened when I hit my head. Just I started feeling like it was bleeding for some reason, and I'm like, oh, am I bleeding? And I'm like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. Back to getting to Let's Play. That's what I figured. What I was gonna do. Also, if you break all these windmills, you actually get a skill point for it. So, yeah. By the way, guys, I am playing Spyro the Dragon, right? Like, if I wasn't, you all would tell me, right? Like, if this is Crash Bandicoot and I'm playing Spyro 3 or something, or so, I don't know, you guys would let me know, right? Somebody would. Because I'm kind of freaking out right now. I don't know. Let me explain something. When I got home, I had a crazy kind of mental problem happen. Something hit me. I don't want to say what it was, but something hit me. It wasn't like physically, it was mentally. Something hit me. And then something happened, and now my way of thinking right now is kind of off. So if I sound like I'm unconscious thinking right now, which it probably does sound like I am, then I am. The funny thing is, when I woke up this morning, I had my alarm clock on. And I woke up and I turned my fan off for some reason. I figured that was my alarm. I don't know. I remembered. Now, also, where did Ratchet and Clank probably get their idea from? Where did Insomnia get the idea for Ratchet and Clank? I have in this game. No, it's really actually kind of warm in this room. Yeah, I had my heater on, and then before I usually start up recording, I have it on and, warm up the room a little bit. It's actually kind of warm in here. A little too warm. Feels like it's actually kind of freezing outside. Also, this probably has nothing to do with it at all, but I'm just going to say what. I got back from a funeral just about a couple hours ago. It started at 10, the service did, and then I was actually a pallbearer. Which basically means I had to carry the coffin with a couple of the other guys, so, yeah, that's how it was. And I'm used to funerals, really. I have a big family, a lot of people come and go, and that's just how I see it. I know that may sound like dick move, kind of a dickish way to put it, but that's how I visualize funerals as, is instead of, saying goodbye, it's more like, we'll see you next time, or something. I don't know, I don't want to break anybody's rules of empathy here, but it's my own, so I guess enough of talking about that. It's nothing I don't want to talk about. It's just that I'm sure a lot of people don't want to hear me talk about stuff like that. Now, this part of the game, this part of this level, I guess, is kind of a difficult run through. You need to put these balls on these electric things. I don't know much about it. Since I can't hear a damn thing, I don't know if it's gonna go off or not. So I have to check back every few minutes. You put a certain amount on, Eventually somebody will come up and try to steal it. If you back away far enough. If the noise goes off, I'm not going to be able to hear it at all, so keep that in mind. Let's go around like this. Actually, you're supposed to kill off all 10 of these guys. Let's talk to him first. Yeah, I know. I mean, I could turn on my sound, but you guys would hear it, and that would not be very good, would it? Now, let's see. Any more ballots? Put this on. This is my least favorite part of this game right here, and it just has to so be right now. I wish, like, they would tell you, whether or not, you know, it's being stolen. Hey, what the hell? Hang on, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm surprised it didn't affect my entire computer. That stupid, what was it? Restart your computer? You know what I mean? That whole deal came up, and yeah, I don't want to restart my computer right now. So I put it to like 4 hours or something. Why are they not coming up? Am I going to get lucky and just not have it? That happens. That happens. And I know I'm doing for the next 2 days. Oh god. Oh god, they're scary. Well, actually, no, they're not. Thing is, once they start capturing them, you have to shoot them with your flame breath. And now they start taking everything, so it's kind of, yeah. And once they start juggling around, sometimes they start throwing it to the point where you can't actually even catch them at all. So, all these guys really are just a bunch of dicks. There's nothing else I can say about that. They're just a bunch of dickheads. The last one usually is the hardest to catch up to. Mainly because he's the last one, so. Now, again, as much as I don't want to bring this up, I'm not, I don't know, I don't feel any emotions. I have like no emotions right now. And no, I don't think it's not because it's funeral. I mean, I was laughing and goofing around with the other guys and stuff like that, you know. I don't know why I'm bringing this stuff up, but you all want to know my personal life, I'm sure. So, yeah, with all that stuff, like, you know, I didn't have, just, it was weird. And I actually got to see my family for once, you know, which we never do, so I guess that's a plus. Most people, I understand, tend to, you know, dislike their family. Yes, I dislike a lot of my family, but still, kind of sucks when, you know, you're only able to see them like once or twice a year because, you know, reasons. This part is the most annoying part of the game, I swear, hands down. Ooh. I don't know, it's getting too warm in here. I'm starting to get kind of a headache from it. I don't know if it's from the warmth or not. I don't know. It feels nice, too nice. Yes. Thing is, I'm used to death. How about that? You know, I'm used to seeing people die all the time. It's just, it gets easier to understand as you get older, rather than being a kid. But I was like back when I was a kid, it was like, oh, somebody died? Okay. Then, you know, when, how do I put this in? Kind of in my teenhood, I started accepting the fact that, you know, it happens, move on, life goes on. Whatever. Now, if it was somebody that was close to me, or closer, I guess you could say, then I understand. But other than that, it usually doesn't affect me as much as the people who are affected. Kind of sucks when you're talking about that stuff on a level like this. It's all rainy and depressive, I guess. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. So much balls. I don't even know. So if I start blabbing on about things that I usually don't blab on about, then you'll know why. Because something hit me in the face. It actually hit me a long time ago, way before this, and it's starting to finally catch up. I'm kind of a little bit crazy. anybody knows it or not, I'm a tad bit crazy, you know. I tend to be. I tend to go on about things that aren't really there. I actually yell at things that are not there from time to time. This is where it gets kind of the freaky part. For some reason, this happened all the time. Back when I was a kid, I was a very imaginative kid. I would always pretend like, you know, I was this big badass hero or something. I don't know why I let this out on YouTube, but who cares? Nobody watches this stuff anyway. I would pretend like I was this big old hero of my own, you know, world and stuff like that, you know. The usual what the kid back in the day who watched Star Wars or read comic books, you know, the usual person or child that, you know, wanted to be like their role models and stuff, you know. I wanted to be what I wanted to be, and with that big imagination, you know, I would usually talk to myself, or Peacock talk to myself, you know, and I thought it was normal because I was talking to myself. You know, I wasn't bothering anybody else, I wasn't hurting anybody, you know. People caught me and they're like, oh, what the hell's he doing, throwing around sticks and stuff. I completely nothing. It's like, well, oh yeah, I guess the last one's not that hard. Well, because, you know, I'm just a big imaginative kid, you know. And as I got older, I started seeing things at night, what have you. And for some reason today, before I got started on my Let's Play, I was loading up my recording device, talking to myself. Which I actually am doing now, technically, but talking to my computer, I guess, for some reason. I was looking at my reflection, and then I stared at it long enough. Next time you go to a mirror, look directly into the eyes of your reflection. And just stare at it. Talk to it, whatever. And things will start to change. And that's when you're probably going to go a little bit like, what the hell? If it doesn't happen to you, then you're probably sane. But if you're like me, you're probably nuts. Yeah. I got nothing with insane people. I'm used to it. My whole family's, you know, we're off the poop deck right there. I'll tell you that right now. There's nobody in my family that I know of that's sane. Nobody. Okay, maybe. Maybe there's a few normal. You know, this is why I take into consideration of normality. I don't think it exists. Being normal doesn't exist. We're all weird in our own way, and that's how I see it, so. Shut up if you think not. All opinionated, you know. I'm a human, right? That's the thing that happens. You notice me not apologizing for anything or coughing that much because I don't really care. I've accepted it. I've accepted that my microphone sucks. Yeah. But this is... I don't know what's going on. Again, like I said, I'm completely used to people dying all the time. Trust me, I've seen it all the time. I don't know why I keep bringing it up, you know, as if it's like that big of an issue. You guys are all probably thinking, oh, he's just being a dick. He's just, you know... Actually, the thing is, I'm still in my fancy clothes. I love looking fancy. I am a very handsome man, so you know. I think this is Tom Kenny right here. Maybe. I don't know if you guys could hear that voice or not. If you can kind of hear SpongeBob in it. But he is Spyro as well, and you can't really tell, but, you know. When I first played... Not really when I first played this. When I got older after... This game came out before I started watching SpongeBob, so I didn't really know what... It didn't really matter to me. I'd never really paid attention to the text. Nothing. You know, never really listened in or nothing like that. After a while of playing this game over and over again, I started realizing, hey, that could possibly be Tom Kenny, could it? You know, and it finally hit me like, oh, okay, it is. He's also Spyro, and I'm like, oh, okay. That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't remember ever hearing him talk with Spyro. I know, I've only heard him talk like SpongeBob. I've heard him talk before. It's just he has kind of a SpongeBob style to him. In a way. But once you hear him once, his actual voice, then you'll start hearing like, oh, yep, I can hear it perfectly. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I don't know what's with me right now. It's been happening for like a whole week right now. I've been going this weird fluctuate of like, what the hell is going on with my life? What the hell am I doing? Like, I know what I want to do with my life, just getting there is the hard part. And, you know, almost usually for everybody, It usually is. Ooh, boop. Oh yeah, there's a button right there. We need to get the charge up for that. Instead of doing that right now, let's go upstairs. Let's go. Oh wait, no, this is just a bridge back to... Yeah, that's right, Chirp. This is where we come from, not where we're supposed to go. Silly ox, you think you're funny, don't you? A little bit, yes. Probably should put this in full screen. Bah! Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh, I'm distracted. That mouse caught me off guard. So, the windmill's right there, okay. I'm sorry I'm not explaining enough. I didn't know that, I have to explain everything visually to you guys. I mean, if you're blind or something, I'm sorry. I'm being serious. If I can't help you with that. If you're just like hearing the sound of my voice for some reason, thank you. It means a lot. My voice is not that interesting in the first place. Son of a dick. I've always wondered that. Like, legally blind people or whatever, actually... I know they don't watch videos, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there are videos for them to listen to and stuff like that. Is that even remotely invented into society or not? Is what I'm wondering, if that's even possible. I'm thinking it would be. And then, deaf people, legally deaf, I guess you could say, do they just watch? Now, I wonder, what would you call somebody? Because there's terms for this kind of stuff. I'm just curious. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just, being curious. Oh, God, man, what the hell? Duh. My stomach does not like me right now. I just had to talk a little. Yeah, it does not like me. What if you had, like, everything? Like, you were mute, deaf, blind, and, anosmiac, asnomic, whatever. The word for, like, you can't smell or something like that. Yeah, there's a word for that. Asnomic. I don't know. I start with an A, I believe so. If you were all that and you couldn't taste or something, would that even be considered anything, or no? Again, just curiosity, nothing else. I'm just trying to be, realistic here and trying to figure out things from my perspective of what it means. I don't know what you would call that. If there even is a medical term for that or not. I don't know. There could be. There probably could be. There's a medical term for everything. There's probably even a medical term for stupidity. Which I don't know why there probably would be. Even though it's not a medical issue. People are just, generally stupid. Or tend to want to be stupid. Okay, we made it over there just fine. That's great. Ooh. All 400 gems. We have to shut this down real quick. I don't know why we need to shut that down when that's technically the power generator, I guess. The factory. Okay. Here, you can have it if you want. Okay, there we go. That's all done with. Now, also, I know I made this mention before. These episodes take a long time to get up. So that's why you're not going to see that much. This week, you're going to see quite a bit of videos. So, at least this series will last a long time. Long enough for me to get back into Sonic and finish Sonic 3 for myself so I can actually consider, being able to beat it, I guess. Whatever. I'm not going to go on ranting for another 15-20 minutes. So, anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. We're heading back to Summer Forest. In the next episode, we're going to take on the next level, which I hope to God... What is it? Boy! Oh boy, Sunny Beach, my favorite. At least it's not Shady Oasis, I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, guys, we also gotta do the Speedway, too. But I will see you all next time in the next episode of Spyro the Dragon 2, so take care, everybody, later, and goodbye.